Have you ever tried blending acrylic paints and looked at them and thought, why do they look so bad? Maybe they're streaky or patchy or simply not blending smoothly. If you are in that boat, you are not alone. There are three kind of big mistakes that happen when it comes to acrylic blending, and honestly, the third one is the one I see the most and the one we talk about the least. So, hi, my name is Rachel. Welcome to the Art Crew, and today I will be going over these three mistakes and exactly how to fix them. Let's get started. The first mistake I see made pretty frequently, and if you've seen some of my other videos, you have heard this before, is simply using a brush that is too small. You see, beginners and professionals alike love to use those small brushes because they give us excellent control, but they don't help us beat that acrylic drying time, and this is where we get a lot of the streaking issues. So the simple fix is to size up our brush 1 to 2 sizes in order to allow us to move the paint more efficiently, and that allows us to create some smoother blending. Now, if this is not your problem, it could be mistake number 2, which is avoiding those muddy colors. Now, you'll hear that muddy colors are bad, but in reality, muddy colors are very important for acrylic blending. Take, for example, this. Let's say we are creating a sunset, and it starts with a rich blue sky on top and goes into that dusty orange color. If we try to mix every transition shade in between the blue and the orange, we're not going to have enough time to blend it out smoothly. So we're going to actually want to blend the two together. Yes, we may get some orange-green color, but that's okay because A, it's perfectly natural, and B, if it's too strong, we can always correct it with a second layer of paint. Remember, acrylics love to be layered. And the third and final issue that we don't typically talk about too much is that your brush simply may be too dry, even with paint on it. That's right. You see, acrylic paints are a water-based medium. That means they need water to glide across the surface, and if they are too tacky or too dry, they simply will get streaky and patchy and very frustrating, even if there's paint on your brush. So the best way to fix this is actually to rinse our brush off about 50 to 100%, or you can use a brand new brush. You'll want to wipe off the excess water. And then I like to check my bristles. I just run my thumb over the edge of them, and if I get too many drips, that means my brush is too wet. Too wet also will equal patches. And if I do get these drops, I just tap my paintbrush off on my paper towel to get it to be damp and not too wet. Once it is damp to the touch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with gentle pressure, work over my treble transition area that's too tacky. I'll work gently up and down, and this will smooth out the transition and give me that glorious buttery smoothness that we look for when blending with acrylic paints. Now, if you are curious about some of the other blending techniques like the wet on wet method or the wet on dry method, feel free to check out some of my longer videos on those two topics, or if you're simply looking for some more acrylic tips and tricks, feel free to check out my acrylic guidebook down below. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I love answering them. Happy painting, and I'll see you next time.